Revenge films.
A guy who works in my company, Andy, divorced his wife after 2 months. His superior, who attended the wedding, said at work the next day,
"Yeah, this won't last long."
This is about what happened during the ceremony. Andy's new wife is the daughter of the CEO of a commerce company, and he basically went much higher in terms of social status. It was a splendid wedding, but 80% of those invited were from the bride. As for folks from our company, his superior was the only one invited. Apparently, during the wedding, a profile video of each of the newlyweds' lives up until then was shown. But for some reason, the resume of the groom was different from what was on his job application. According to his superior, the Andy he knows was raised in an ordinary family, graduating from a B-rank university after 5 years. The extra was because
I totally didn't get enough units to graduate.
He said this himself during a drinking party, so there wasn't any doubt. Later, he worked part-time for 3 years, and then he was hired at our company. In the beginning, he was in the basement where the newcomers go, but after some time he moved up to the second floor. And no further, the higher you go, the better the job. And it wasn't the ideal employee. He was late quite often, and he did his work in the lazy days, it seems. However, in the profile video at the wedding, his family was poor, and his father left this world when he was in middle school. And he paid his tuition and his brother's by working from when he was in high school. Plus, the university from which he graduated was A-rank after 5 years, and the extra year was because
I worked my ass off for a year straight for my school fees.
Soon after graduating, he was quickly hired for a company and rapidly moved up the ranks to the highest floor. Not something you see very often. Now he purposely works on the second floor to help the company as much as he can. He's an employee the entire enterprise depends on for success in the future. After my superior saw this profile, he wanted to say,
While I can understand a little bit of boasting over the line for such an occasion, this is all a lie, plain and simple.
We, the other employees, cringed hard when we heard that story. Honestly, Andy being a lazy employee was pretty conspicuous. Then he took off on his extravagant honeymoon as his superior was pondering the implications. He sent pictures of his proud face on this vacation to those he exchanged contact info with, saying,
This is something you won't ever see, so you best get a glimpse of the real deal.
He also sent photos of the expensive hotel and of him drinking costly wine with his wife, saying,
Enjoying wine with a girl a lowlife like you will never land. You'll never get the chance to stay at a hotel like this.
This was obviously pretty annoying, so his colleagues frankly didn't want him to send anything, but
You know I'm the heir to a successful company, right? You think it's alright to talk back at me?
it was infuriating. But the truth was that Indeed climbed the social ranks, so anything we said could eventually stab us in the back. His colleagues were pretty pissed. However, Andy's happiness would end right then. Right after returning from his honeymoon, talk about his divorce was spreading like wildfire. As his superior had predicted, they found out that the things said in the profile video were all lies. Why was it discovered even though Andy himself wasn't there to spill it all? The bride's father's company and ours were actually collaborating on the release of a new product. The person who really is on the highest floor, Carl, met the bride's father face to face, and the CEO asked about Andy's work.
Hello. Seems my son-in-law is being taken care of here. How is his work going?
From the start, Carl never really got acquainted with Andy, and Carl didn't even know about him marrying anyone. Such was their relationship. That's why he said,
There isn't anyone named Andy on this floor. I mean, I do know of whom you're talking about, but they don't have the highest status in the company.
The cat was let out of the bag. According to him, there was never any talk about Andy going up to the highest floor, as far as he knew, and that there was no way he would ever achieve that position. Upon hearing this, the father was shocked and did a background check to see if there was any other lies. The lies knew no bounds. Andy's himself hardly did any work and always pushed his responsibilities on other employees, and whenever he did,
You do your part. This is all your responsibility to bear, right? It's nothing but trouble pushing your work onto me.
The hell? Don't you know who I am, boy? I'm the future CEO of that successful company. The gap between you and me is as wide as that between the sky and the ground. Goody two-shoes attitudes like that can help you get fired from the company, you know. Want me to tell the CEO and have you sacked right now?
he was harassing people.
Hey there! How about going for a drink tonight? I know a very nice place. I have a credit card, so...
But obviously, the female employee here knew that he was engaged to be married, so she replied, What are you doing? You have a fiancé, do you not, Andy?
Don't worry about her. I only married her for her money. Your face is 1,000 times more attractive. In any case, I'm doing my best telling you my feelings and that I want to spoil you. You think it's alright that you refused my offer?
What do you mean?
I'm the heir of Dollar Inc., you know. I think talking back at me like that would make your job here much harder. And a single word from me, this company could collapse. So the position of a single employee like you, piece of cake. You follow?
He made so that she didn't have any escape hatch, and he apparently forced a physical relationship with her. As you would have expected, the father flew into a rage once he found out the truth, and summoned the newlyweds back home during their honeymoon.
What is the meaning of this? Your stories are nothing but lies! Not to mention you seem to have been cheating on some girl from your company! Such shocking, dark truths I uncovered when I looked into you more thoroughly! What? Where did that come from? An employee from your company came a while back, and when I asked about you, he talked nothing but smack, so I had to find out for myself!
The bride was shocked upon hearing this story. What's the meaning of this?
This scumbag lied out of his way to marry you, sweetie, and in the end, he even had the audacity to cheat! You cretin!
There's no way! We just got married the other day!
Oh, wait, hang on! I promised to stop this behavior at once!
Don't talk silly to me! Are you freaking kidding me? This marriage is a bust, I tell you! She joined forces with her father and backed Andy into a corner. Of course, the marriage was broken, and divorce was filed. Since the bride had invited so many people, she demanded him dozens of millions in damage compensation. Plus, to our great surprise, he isn't providing tuition for his brother, but he was instead using the money from his brother's scholarship. By the time he noticed, his brother couldn't pay tuition, and he had to leave school for a time. But soon after, he worked himself to exhaustion to save up for school, and he got in a second time. Andy basically used that as a good background story and implemented it to his cause. He really is a scumbag. If you thought he would get fired because of this whole fiasco, you're right. He was sued by the female employee for power and sexual harassment, and also sued by the male employee for power harassment. The money demanded by his ex was already ridiculous, but his stupid behavior in the past is now driving him into his financial grave, with no way out. Not to mention his being fired from the company meant he had zero income, but his ex's company is truly a great one, and it didn't take long for what he did to be released to the media. As a result, he went about desperately, going to interviews 24/7, trying to find a new job, but no one would ever accept him. So now he's working multiple part-time jobs as a building janitor, convenience store clerk, and waiter. Part-time jobs don't pay bonuses, and the pay itself is never anything very good. I can't imagine when all the demands for compensation would finally be paid off. Perhaps he himself thought he succeeded in life after landing his ex, but cleanly plunged down a dark spiral. But as a woman, I also wouldn't forgive him for what he did, and he got what he deserved. For real, for real.
How was today's video? If you enjoyed it, please subscribe, like, and leave a comment. Stay tuned for more.